I am just about to make a story time video. This is my second video that I'm uploading on September 1st. I'll start off when I just hope you guys enjoy it. Please let me know. And I'll try to keep uploading as much as I can to give you guys a better insight on my life. My granny or whatever, we was real close. Like, that was my baby. Then when I turned 5, we moved with my auntie and my uncle. It's a lot to that. Long story short, basically, my mom was being manipulated. People was trying to control my mom and how to raise me and my brother. Like, a lot of shit was going on. Fast forward, when I had turned, it was 14. Before I turned 14, I was real close to my cousins. I used to go to their house every weekend, or at least try to when I could. But that was the only time I ever got free time. When I stayed with my auntie and my uncle when I was 5 till I was 14. Well, basically 13, but 14. I never got to like get out. I never got to go to parties. I never got to go to sleepovers. I never got to go to movies. I never got to hang out with my friends. Like, I was strictly in the house, whatever the word is, inside a room. Like, I was in a room, look at me trying to sound educated, but I was in a room like 24/7 just playing with my Barbie dolls, or if not, with my brother outside, riding bikes and stuff. The farthest we can go was around the block. So then when I turned 14, I ended up moving with my cousin, the one I was just telling y'all about. She was cool. She was like a second mom to me. She let me and my brother move there. But before I even know we was moving there, we was basically supposed to be staying the night. And then one time, my mom, she just never came back and got us. So we ended up staying there. Didn't even know we was going to be staying there. We thinking that we was about to just, we thinking we were just about to stay the night or whatever. My mom never came back and got us. So I'm guessing we living there. I'm asking my cousin all the time, like, where's my mom? She coming back to get us. We not, basically. School was about to start in like next month. So we ended up staying. I wasn't really tripping because I was close with my cousin. And so I wasn't really tripping. My brother was close with her brother. And just, this is my blood family. And then, like I said, I didn't get to do nothing. Like, nothing at all. And so when I got to do stuff, when I moved with my cousin, I got to do more stuff. I got to hang with friends. I got to be out. I got to stay after school. I got to meet up with boys. All that. Like, I got to be free or whatever. And then when I turned 15, I had met this one dude that used to always come to my class. And he would always come and flirt. Now, y'all see my teeth now? You see my teeth? I used to have a gap before this. I'm gonna show y'all some clips, but my gap was bad. And y'all let me know how what y'all think about it. I'm gonna show y'all. It's gonna be in the description because I'm gonna do a video on my process of my braces. I've had braces for 3 years now. But back to the story. So I had met him. He was goofy. He was coming to my class, messing with me and my best friend or whatever. And one day this gonna be a story time. This gonna be a separate story. But basically, long story short, because I'm gonna have y'all wondering. Long story short, I ended up getting pregnant at 15. I already knew what it was from there. Even though I wasn't living with my mom, I knew like it just wasn't okay. I knew that she wasn't gonna be okay with it. I felt like she was gonna resent me, and then and there, like I was already not even living with her. And so basically, I thought I was pregnant, and I was hurt because I didn't even know I had went to my school nurse, and I had took a DNA test because I missed my period, and it was like 2-3 months, and I'm like, hold on, something ain't right. Like, I always see my period, and I'm always like, I was a heavy flow. Females, y'all know what it is. I don't know if y'all do, but like I was real heavy. So I went there, and the lady came back in, and she was like, you're positive. And I'm like, I'm thinking positive, like, okay, I'm not pregnant. I know. I really thought that. I'm thinking negative was like, I am. I was like, damn, that's bad. So she told me I was, and like, she explained it to me like, you are. She's like, you know that means you're pregnant, right? And I'm like, nah, I ain't know that. So I just bust out in tears. Like, I started crying. I'm like, oh my God, my life is over. I don't even want to be here no more. This is crazy. This, that, and the third. Then, what happened after that? Oh, I told my cousin that I was staying with, my younger cousin. Not my oldest one that let me live there, but my younger cousin, the one I said I was close to in the beginning. You're gonna call her Jay. I told Jay everything. And we would talk about it every night, and I would just be like, I don't want to keep, you know, I don't want to have a baby right now. I can't do this. And she would always tell me like, I want you to keep it. And I'm like, well, I don't want to. I'm only 15. Like, I'm not even done with high school. I'm only in 10th grade. Like, it was a mistake. Like, I knew what I was doing, but I didn't know what could have came behind it. And because I didn't really know stuff because I didn't really get out, and my mom didn't talk about me with stuff like that. Anytime I would talk about it is at school or with friends, but that was my age. Some of them didn't even know. And I was a real quiet kid. Like, I'm very outgoing now, very outspoken, very like a people person. I didn't used to be, and that was because I didn't get to be around people. So I mean, how can you know how to communicate with people if you're not really around nobody, except for at school, and you gotta come straight home. And then when you're at school, you focusing on schoolwork. You don't want to get in trouble because the lifestyle you living in. So you being good or whatever. And so I believe I went to my school nurse, because I was just saying about my cousin, and she was giving me advice. And I went to my school nurse, and I was like, what are the options? And she said, well, you had two options. Had, keyword had. And I'm like, what do you mean had? And she's like, you could have gotten an abortion, but you're too far along. And then she was like, you can also do adoption. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So try to follow up on that. And I picked the family and everything. Like, I wanted to go through with it. So fast forward, there's a lot of stuff between that moment, but not too much little details or whatever. I just know every day I would be sad, I would cry, I would wish it wasn't me, and what did I do wrong? Why was it me? So then my cousin, she was always supportive though, Jay. She was always talking to me like, no, don't think that way, you know, you good, girl, like, think positive. Okay. So then, my bad. So then when I was about 8-9 months pregnant, I didn't know what labor felt like. So I'm on a couch and I'm starting to feel pain. My stomach hurt or whatever. I'm like, oh my God, I'm cramping. And I end up going into labor later that next day. I ended up going into labor. My cousin was the reason why I ended up going to the hospital. Otherwise, I could have had my baby in the toilet because I didn't know what it was. I'm thinking it's like a stomach ache or a cramp or something. Like, I'm thinking everything good. But that wasn't the case. Get to the hospital. They take me to the delivery room. And I end up delivering my daughter.
Did he say something?
This was 8 years ago. I think I said a little too much. Now y'all finna be guessing my age. But I pushed her out, and all I gotta say is how I felt before that was not how I felt once I had her. And sometimes when I think back, it makes me get emotional because I can't believe I was about to be that type of mother, and that's not what I was meant to be. Because the moment I laid eyes on that little girl, I knew that she was mine and she was gonna be with me forever. And I told the adoption counselor, because they was there, I didn't want to go through with it, and she was just like, it's normal, you know, people usually go through this. Are you sure? I'm like, yes, I'm 16, but I feel like, because my birthday came around, I was 15 when I got pregnant, which was in the fall, and the next year my birthday's in the winter time. So like 4 months later, that's when I had turned 16. So I had my daughter at 16, and I was just real sad or whatever, and everything was emotional because a little piece in that I skipped out on was when this foster care worker would always come and visit us or whatever, me and my brother. And my brother was a little troublemaker, so he wasn't really around for real. But yeah, basically I ended up wanting to keep her. And then these people came to talk to me, and I think they kind of felt some type of way. So it was kind of like this situation where they thought I said something or they misinterpreted what I said. And the day I was leaving the hospital, they ended up taking my daughter. I'm healed from it now a little bit. It still do hurt because like getting your child taken away from you straight after birth or any time in life, somebody that you held for 9 months, you build a connection with, it hurt so bad. So yeah, I cried for days on out. And then I believe it was like a week later, these people came knocking at my cousin's door. It was like 2 police officers, and it was the lady that always came and seen us, and she asked where I was at. And my cousins was like, she's upstairs. My cousin come up there because they told her to come, him and her to come get me. It was both of my cousins, Jay and the one that my brother hang with, and they ended up coming to get me. And it was like, pack a pack of clothes and you'll be back. So I think I packed like 2 pairs of clothes and some shoes. And I walked out the door. I'm thinking I'm coming back. I go to this place with these other foster kids, and I'm just lost. Like, lost. Like, where am I? And I cried. And I'm just like, when can I go home? And she's like, soon. And soon came into weeks. Weeks came into months. Months came into never. So I ended up, I was a foster kid, and a lot of people don't know that unless they really know me, but I want to share that with y'all because y'all are part of my journey, and I both feel like that's a part of me, even though it really hurted. It's a part of me today, and I do not regret that happening because I was in a tough situation, even though I felt like I was grown enough or old enough to handle my responsibilities. It was meant to happen. And I ended up getting my oldest daughter back, which is 8 now, the one that I got pregnant. I didn't get her back when she was 1 year old. It took me a whole year to get her back. I had to do a lot of stuff, but I don't regret it. I do not regret it. Sorry for those who do go through things like that about their kids and they don't get to reunite, but it was the best feeling ever. After her first birthday, I got to get her back. And it was the best day. Probably one of the best days of my life besides her birth. And I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to get her back, and she's 8 now, and she's a big sister of 2 younger sisters, and I'm the best mom to them. And I'm glad I kept my daughter. I really am. I'm so glad I kept her. And the guy that I'm telling you is gonna be a story time about this with him, but I'm still with him. For those who do go through things like that about their kids and they don't get to reunite, but it was the best feeling ever. After her first birthday, I got to get her back, and it was the best day. Probably one of the best days of my life besides her birth. And I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to get her back, and she's 8 now, and she's a big sister of 2 younger sisters, and I'm the best mom to them. And I'm glad I kept my daughter. I really am. I'm so glad I kept her. And the guy that I'm telling you is gonna be a story time about this with him, but I'm still with him. We're happy, and we got our 3 beautiful daughters, and life is good. And just happy that I'm here today and that I get to share that with y'all. And I just really hope you guys enjoyed the video.